There's a test that costs about 5,000 rupees and it tells you exactly what 50 lakhs in building would have told you. And most people never run this test. They go from an idea to I'm building it at one shot. And this is not just for people who are starting out. In fact, the people who are already in business get trapped in this even more. What people do is they spend months and sometimes years learning what one weekend would have shown them. And by the end of this video, you will know how to run that test and you will know which part of your idea to test first, and you will stop building on guesses. See, every idea you have about your business contains bets that you don't realize you're making. People will pay me 3,000 rupees for this. That's a bet. My customers are on Instagram. That's a bet. I can deliver this product for under 800 rupees per unit. Also a bet. The problem is these feel like decision. They look like planning, but nobody has handed you the money yet, so these are all guesses. The problem is not that you're having assumptions, because every idea starts with assumptions. The problem is you're treating them as facts and you're betting everything on them without even checking if your bets will even come to fruition or not. So here's the process. There are 4 parts to this. The first thing, like I've been saying, is your idea is full of invisible bets. Every business idea rests on assumptions that you have not tested yet. The danger is they don't even feel like assumptions. They feel like decisions that you've made. I'll charge 3,000 rupees a month. That feels like a pricing decision, but the problem is it's not. It's a guess on what people will pay. The thing is, you do maths saying that 3,000 rupees is what people will pay me. 10 people like this, I make 30,000 rupees per month, and I'll sell this through Instagram. That's also a guess. It feels like a marketing choice, but it's a guess on where your customers are spending time on. The packaging of this whole thing is what makes it even more dangerous. You feel like you've decided on something. Problem is, you've guessed it and you've dressed this guess up with a fancy suit and you call it a plan. Here's what this looks like. A home baker in Kochi wants to turn her weekend orders into a full-time cloud kitchen for healthy lunch. She decides on the price. Again, she decides on the price, 200 rupees per box. She decides on the audience, office workers within 5-kilometer range. She decides that she can handle 50 orders a day from her kitchen. Are you seeing how she's deciding on all of this, making these Excel spreadsheets and then churning these numbers and thinking that, hey, I can do this for sure. But the thing is, none of these are decisions, they're bets. And she's about to spend on packaging, licensing, marketing based on these bets being true. Most people make this mistake. They think that the research is the same as testing. You watch what competitors are doing, research, and you think that it'll work out for me too. You ask friends what they think, and you think that them agreeing will make your business work. It feels like homework, it feels productive, but all you're doing is stacking one assumption over the next one, and on top of that, one more. And if nobody has paid you, you haven't tested a single thing. So like I said, the first thing to understand is your idea is full of bets. I repeated this so many times because I want you to get this very, very clear. The second thing is building first is the most expensive way to get an answer. People think that I need to build the whole system and only then I'll know if this is working or not. The thing is, when you build before you test, the market gives you the same answer it would have given you by running a 5,000 rupee test that I'm going to tell you in a bit. But now you paid the full price of building it, the full time of building it to hear the same answer that a weekend 5,000 rupee test would have given you. Let me show you what this looks like. A developer in Pune, he spent 6 months and 18 lakh rupees to build a project management tool for interior designers. Beautiful interface, smart features, and he's sure that they needed something better than their regular WhatsApp groups and their spreadsheet. He ships the product, 0 customers. Not because the tool was bad, but because interior designers were fine with WhatsApp. The problem wasn't painful enough for them to switch. But this guy, he spent 18 lakh rupees and 6 months of his life to learn what 5,000 rupee Instagram ad would have shown him over the weekend. The information was always available, he just asked it the more expensive way. Now, a lot of people hear this and think, okay, so I'll just build an MVP, Swastik, I'll build a lighter version, I'm not going to spend 18 lakhs on it. But the point you're forgetting is even a minimum viable product, an MVP, costs months and lakhs of rupees. The question is not how to build it cheaper, the question is, can I test this without building at all? That's the right question. And almost always you can. The answer was always cheap, it's just that you perhaps chose the more expensive way. And here's what you do about it in 4 steps. Step number 1, write down every assumption. Take your business idea, write down every single thing that must be true for your business idea to work. People will pay me X rupees for this. I can reach them through this particular channel. I can deliver this under this price. They will choose me over what already exists in the market, or they will choose me over not doing anything at all. All of these are bets. Get all of them on paper, and when I say get all of them, I want you to get every single one of them on paper. That's step number 1. Step number 2, I want you to sort them. Cosmetic bets versus existential bets. See, not all assumptions are equal. You can survive with some assumptions. Let's say if your branding is not perfect, you can fix that later. If your website needs work, you can rebuild on that as well. But if nobody wants what you're selling, nothing else matters. Game over. So cosmetic bets versus existential bets. You need to know which is which. Here are some categories worth checking, maybe even in this exact order. Check for demand. Check for pricing. Check the market size. Check how much it costs to deliver. Check what channel you're delivering it on. Check the retention. Check the competition. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is test the existential bets first. Like I was telling you, here's the priority rule. First, test demand and pricing before anything else. First question, do people want to pay for this? Second question, will people pay what I'm asking? If either of the answer is no, the rest is irrelevant. See, even when people are testing things, they test the easiest assumption. That's the wrong thing to do. Stop testing the most comfortable assumption. The one that kills the business if it's wrong, that's the one you need to test. And the sad part is, sometimes when you test for demand and pricing and you realize it fails, you want to confirm in your head that no, this is going to work, and that's the exact mistake that I want to stop you from. So let me show you how these 3 steps work together. Let's say a fitness trainer wants to open a women-only gym. Step 1, she starts writing down her bets. What are the bets she's making? 1, enough women in this area want a dedicated women's-only gym. Bet number 2, that they'll pay 3,000 rupees a month. That's perhaps double the regular gym rate of 1,500 rupees. Bet number 3, that she can hit 60 members in the first 3 months so that she breaks even. Bet number 4, the location has enough foot traffic. Now, step number 2 is where she sorts them. In fact, I want you to pause this video and I want you to think which is an existential bet and which is a cosmetic bet. See, think about this for a second. If bet 4, which is foot traffic, is wrong, she can market around it because that's a cosmetic bet. So I think, how is that a cosmetic bet? Pay attention to this. If bet 3, that she hits 60 members in the first 3 months is wrong, she might just need to extend time. Maybe the break-even period goes to the 4th month, 5th month, or the 6th month. Also cosmetic. But if bet 1 is wrong, that enough women want a women's only gym, if there is no demand, then nothing else matters. That's the existential bet. Step 3, bet 1 gets tested first, not because it's easy, because it's existential. See, most people test comfortable assumptions. They survey friends about pricing because it's easy to ask. They skip the harder questions, the question of will complete strangers pay? So I want you to test the bet that kills you, not the ones that are easy to check. And how do you do this? That brings me to step number 4. Don't ask people if they would buy. In fact, make it possible for them to buy and see if they actually do. Here's why this distinction matters. First, when you ask someone, would you buy this, and not actually ask them to pay, 3 things are happening. The first thing that is happening is the imagination bias. They picture the best possible version of your product. Not what you will build, not what you will deliver, the perfect version which is in their head. That's the first thing that's happening. The second thing that's happening is social pressure. See, they want to be supportive with you. Especially if they know you. Nobody wants to crush your dream over a cup of coffee. You go to a friend and you're like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? It's most likely that your friend will say, yes, this is a great idea. The third thing that is happening is there is zero cost commitment, because saying yes costs them nothing. So the default answer is yes. In fact, saying no costs them the relationship with you. Now, let's understand this. Let's say if you flip this, if you ask someone to pay 2,000 rupees right now, the whole equation changes. The pain of losing real money kicks in. They stop imagining and they start evaluating. They start comparing your offer against alternatives. In fact, they start comparing your offer against them doing nothing at all. And now, yes suddenly has a price tag. So the gap between I totally buy this dude to here's my payment is where most business ideas die. And if you ask me, the gap is massive. Half your surveys that said yes they'd buy, in reality, only 5 to 10% of them actually buy. So don't test with questions, test with transactions. So here are the ways to do it. First way is run ads to a simple web page or a landing page. If you're selling a fitness app, put up a page and spend maybe 5,000 rupees on Instagram ads and count how many people put down an actual deposit. Second way of doing this is taking pre-orders. Let's say you want to launch a course. Sell the course before you record a single video, because if people pay upfront, that means the demand is real. Don't record for one month straight, 2 months straight, hiring videographers, photographers, setting up the studio, and then realizing that it's not going to sell. The third way to do it is doing it manually. Don't think automation. In fact, let's say you want to start a design service. Go on LinkedIn, go on Instagram and send DMs, send out DMs to 5 potential clients and do the work manually. Get on call with them, close the sale with them, charge real money, no website, no systems, just deliver and see if they actually pay. The fourth way to do it is sell the smallest version. See, you want to build a meal planning app. Instead of working so many hours and templating the whole thing, start with a 499 rupees Notion template. Not a prototype, but a real thing with a real price. There's a price of 499 rupees and there's real value that they're getting. All these 4 tests, they test behaviors and not opinions, because real money, real decisions, real proof. One note is that this works the cleanest for service and info products and things that people can pre-order. But if you're in a hardware or a regulated space, the methods might change, but the principle doesn't. The principle still remains that test before you invest. Remember this, please. And the mistake that people make here is accepting interest as validation. Swastik, 50 people said they're interested. Interest is free. Interest doesn't pay the rent. Remember this. Pre-orders, deposits, real transaction, that is the real stuff. Everything else is noise. So sell before you build, and the wallet is the only test that counts. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take whatever idea you're working on or the one that you've been thinking about and write down 3 sentences that start with I assume. I assume that people will pay me this much money for this. I assume people will pay me 1,000 rupees for this. I assume that I can reach people through my YouTube channel or through my Instagram. I assume that people will choose me over the other competitor, or people will choose me over doing nothing. Second, rank them. Which one kills the business if you're wrong? That's the one that you need to test. Not the next month, test that this week. A landing page and a few hundred rupees in ads, or 20 DMs to potential customers, or pre-sale offers, do whatever it takes, but test it first. See, either you'll get the proof that people will pay and now you start building with confidence, or you find out your assumption was wrong. I know that's a little more hurtful, but the thing is you just saved yourself months of life and lakhs of your money. So just be thankful to it that you figured this out now. Every business idea is a bet. The smart move is not avoiding bets, it's testing them before going all in. You don't need to build first, you don't need to perfect it, you need proof that someone will pay. If this made you rethink about how you're approaching your next idea, I want you to drop a comment. What is the riskiest assumption in your business right now? And I read every single comment. And if you want more frameworks like this, the kind that saves you from expensive mistakes, hit the subscribe button, because that's what this channel is about. The answer was always cheap. You just have to ask before you build. Let's go.